You know who I can do without? I can do without the people in the video store.
Which ones?
All of them.
This is Massive Late Fee with Mike and Mark.
That's all our fans in England cheering for us.
Well, that's good. I thought my connection had down for like the 300th time tonight.
No, it's fine. Welcome to Massive Late Fee. My name is Mark. With me as always, my co-host Mike. How you doing, Mike?
Not so well.
Yeah, it's been a good week, I guess, at Massive Late Fee, but it's not
I didn't say that at all.
It's not been a good time right now because very horrible technical issues.
Yeah, we spent like an hour trying to get this going, so we hope you pieces of shit appreciate it.
Well, Mike, I've got two pieces of, legitimate news and two pieces of clickbait news. What do you want me to start with? You want me to start with the legitimate news or the clickbait?
Legitimate's fine. And I also have a piece of legitimate news, so there's that.
All right. Well, I'll do the. What did you want me to start with? Legitimate or clickbait? I didn't hear.
Legitimate's fine.
All right. So I don't know. It's so weird calling this legitimate, but I mean, I guess it is legitimate. So Disney Plus is going to launch November 12th. It's ad-free, except they've added one caveat. It was going to be completely ad-free, but they're going to have a one-time only ad for Stars, to sign up for Stars when you first sign up for it and never again. So
Do they own Stars?
I don't know. I was wondering who owns Stars. I know it's not Disney because I'm not. I know it's not HBO because HBO owns Cinemax. Yeah, Stars is owned by the Fox Broadcasting Company, so I'm guessing. I don't know if that was one of the properties that they kept, that Fox kept, or if went over.
I'm sure they bought it.
Let's
Stars is always like the shittiest, of the premium cable channels.
Yeah, and Fox used to be the shittiest of the regular channels. So I guess that makes sense.
What do you mean used to be?
Right. But yeah, no, okay, so Fox still owns it. So I wonder if that was part of their deal when they bought it, or if it's just a bone they're throwing them. Hey, we'll sell you 90% of our company, but you gotta do a commercial for Stars.
Well, as we know, Disney does nothing for the hell of it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Which actually leads to my story, but your story might be my story, so go ahead with your story.
No, my other story has to do with the NBA. So, the NBA has announced that they are launching a streaming service. For $6.99 a month, you can watch live games and replays, I guess, plus some shows. I'm going to assume that it's like, I mean, I don't know what inside the NBA, stuff like that, shows that they own that have to do with the NBA. So
the Kurt Rambis hour?
Yeah, exactly. The Kurt Rambis hour where he talks to Elgin Baylor and is Elgin Baylor still alive?
I don't know. And then his talk show, Keeping Up with Kurt.
Oh, I just remember the glasses.
Yeah, that's all you had going to him.
Yeah. But so I know that's kind of exciting news, I guess, if you're an NBA fan. This is what's going to happen. The NFL's going to get on this too. Eventually, it's just you're gonna.
I think they already have the NFL Network. It's just not like a paid streaming thing.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. Eventually, cable's just gonna die, and it's gonna be spend $120, but a month like you would on a cable plan. But what you're gonna do is end up buying these 15 apps.
Yeah, I think that'd be more than worth it. I mean, honestly, you could probably get more. I'm sure if I was just watching stuff I like, it would be way less than a cable bill.
Oh, I agree. Because
I would just get and certain times of the year I'd get HBO Go. Like right now, Silicon Valley's on, which I'm a big fan of. Okay. And the show that I watched for this week is also on HBO, but I wouldn't subscribe just for that, as you'll hear in my scathing review.
I certainly wouldn't get CBS because they don't have anything.
Oh, you're not 80 years old?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think the sports channels are really the best values because during like the World Series a few years ago, I didn't have cable, but
Mhm.
I had the internet, so I just got like this. I paid like $10 a month at the time, I think it was, for the playoffs, and I got like every game I wanted, and they had all these different like stats and fields.
Mhm.
Well worth it if you're a big fan.
Absolutely. Yeah, I didn't have the cable at the time when the Cubs made it to the World Series and the year that they won when they beat the Indians, and I really wanted to see it. So I was like, fuck it, and I did something similar where I got a subscription where I could see it on the internet, and I watched all the games, and it was a very exciting World
Yeah,
Series,
and it's
obviously.
superior because you don't see commercials at all on
Yep.
those. So I mean, sometimes it'll just be like blank, and they'll have like the score and like
Hmm.
the field position during the commercials. But yeah, it was fine, more than fine. I mean, for sports, it definitely would pay off.
I agree. I agree. I think sports is probably the best value as far as streaming goes because there's so many things you can see that you wouldn't normally be able to see on cable anyway.
Yeah, and speaking of sports, I just realized that I think ESPN Plus is going to be on the Disney. What is it? Disney Plus? What it's called?
Yeah.
So at some point, you're gonna have some little kid accidentally turning the channel, just seeing some guy getting his face bashed in on an MMA fight because they have those.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, and Hulu for $12.99 a month.
That's a tempting deal to be honest with you.
Yeah, because I pay
Even though I hate, I mean, I wouldn't watch Disney, but my children would.
I pay about $8 a month or so for Hulu right now. So to add Disney Plus and ESPN Plus for like $5 more, I mean, I'm probably gonna do it. It launches.
Oh, I do it just for the ESPN Plus and MMA, but I don't really know. Like I said, my kids probably would like something on Disney. I don't know. Do they have like all their old movies and shit on there?
Yeah, I think they're gonna have all the old movies. They're gonna have but basically they're gonna have all their movies, including all the properties that they own. So yeah,
Well, that's good.
yeah, it's gonna be huge. Like there's gonna be a ton of content.
I mean, I'm not upset by that. I mean, eventually you'll get someone who's almost like a cable, you know, bunch together a few different services, like Disney Plus and Netflix and HBO for this price.
Yeah.
It'll be no different than cable eventually.
What's your legitimate story?
Oh, by the way, you can probably hear my cat Mabel purring because I'm in the house
Okay.
today. I'm usually in the garage, and when I'm in the house, she's always like right on top of me. So you'll hear a lot of purring from her today, and she's looking at me while I'm saying this and wanting to be pet. Um, Speaking of Disney properties, ABC News' Amy Robach was caught on a hot mic saying that the network spiked a Jeffrey Epstein bombshell.
Yeah, I saw something about that, but I didn't read into the article. So did she say
Yeah, there was a
anything
couple like this.
else?
She did this for this, and also she said something about. I think they did it for like something about Prince Andrew in the UK.
Okay.
Like supposedly there was some talk that if they buried the story, then they would still be able to interview like the Prince William guy and his wife.
Yeah, it does not surprise me that they do this shit.
Yeah, but I mean, it's funny because that's what everyone thinks. There's all the every conspiracy theorist is like, oh, the media is controlling stuff, and it's like, oh, that's just like crazy talk. But I mean, obviously they have a vested interest because I think it said that it criticized or implicated even the Clintons. She was,
Oh yeah, that's not
and
that's
they
not surprising to me.
no, seeing I think Bill Clinton was on his jet like over a dozen times for some reason.
Yeah, and if somebody told me, "Hey, Bill Clinton had sex with some underage girls or whatever," my first response wouldn't be, "Oh, not Clinton, never."
Yeah, right, but it was just kind of funny that it wasn't like it wasn't her like whistleblowing. It was just like she was on mic and didn't even realize it. She just
Right.
mentioned that they spiked the
Yeah.
story. So they said she had like this was like 3 years ago. She had this information and like they were going to put these people on the air, but according to it didn't meet their editorial standards at ABC. Which what exactly those are, I have no idea.
Right.
This
Ridiculous.
is the network that's on like TGIF, the entire lineup of just garbage shows that we rip apart for dumpster diving. But yeah, it didn't meet their editorial standards, which means it might have lost money, which is, I think, their only standard they have.
Yep, that's all of them. All of them are biased towards money.
Yeah, it's not like a grand conspiracy, just pure sheer greed. Because companies that make billions upon billions of dollars, they need more.
Yeah, exactly.
Because if anything would make the world a better place, it would be if everything was like Disney.
Yep, exactly. That's what we need. That's what we're coming to. It's going to be Disney and Amazon. Those will be the two companies.
Sterile, joyless existence brought to you by a company that will stab their own mother in the back for $1.
Yep. It's going to be the world of Fahrenheit 451, where everyone's inside those tubes watching soap operas and stuff.
One of my favorite conspiracy theories is that Disney put out the movie Frozen so that people, when they Googled Disney and Frozen, it wouldn't lead to stories about like cryogenics, but rather, the movie.
That's so awesome.
Have you heard? Because there's supposedly like Walt. I mean, I don't think it's actually true, but people claim that Walt Disney's head was like frozen, to be brought back.
Yeah, cryogenically frozen to reanimate to put down the Jews. I guess I don't know why. But I think he was cremated.
Yeah, I don't know.
The exact opposite. But maybe in the
that really is the exact opposite.
Yeah.
I mean, with cremation, you're like, they're done.
But anyway,
there's no expectation to be revived if you're burnt to death.
No, not at all.
Well, I guess you're already dead, I would hope. So probably burnt after death.
Burn after dying.
And not Burn Beyond Recognition, the band from Married with Children that Bud and Kelly were so eager to go.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you have a couple of non-serious journalistic...
Yeah, so the clickbait stories I have both have to do with movies. So the first one is... the first one's real simple, so I'll go through it real quick. It was Mike Flanagan, the director of the upcoming Dr. Sleep. He also directed Gerald's Game. Is said to be in talks to direct another Stephen King property. That's what it said. And then the quote was, "I've had talks with Stephen King about directing something else that he worked on, but I'm not allowed to say what it is." That's basically what the story is. It's a 2,000-word story based on that quote.
That's awesome.
The other one is even more ridiculous.
Did you like the book Dr. Sleep?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was, I didn't think that I would like it that much, but it works as a sequel to The Shining. It's not as good as The Shining, but it's a decent book.
I didn't care for it myself that much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was just like, it's just like it looks like you just had like a completely different idea. It was almost like an Insomnia type idea because it seemed similar to that book. Mm-hmm. And he's like, Danny Torrance will be in it, and then that's how he.
I had really low expectations coming into it, and I think that's why maybe I liked it. But it's certainly, I would put it, I'd put it in the bottom third of his books.
Oh yeah, but a book that came out around the same time, I think, was Revival. I surprisingly liked that book.
That book I think is really good.
Yeah, and also Finders Keepers is really good.
Yep, I liked that one too. That's part of the trilogy, the Bill Hodges trilogy.
I read the Mr. Mercedes and that, but I didn't read the third.
I haven't read the third one yet either. End of Watch, I think it is. I own it, but I haven't read it yet.
It seemed like he started to go into the supernatural, which I had no interest in. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. These are, they're books about just actually happen, I guess.
Yeah.
And then I think in the third one he's like a robot or something.
I don't know.
No, I think he can control the electronics through his brain or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, it's the movie Shocker.
With Mitch Pileggi.
Right. But the other piece of clickbait story involves Keanu Reeves. Apparently, we have to include one Keanu Reeves story every podcast. But
there's a lot of Keanu news this week.
No, there really was. So it was talking about the Matrix, and it said, so this was the headline. What kind of Matrix story, or find out what kind of Matrix story we're gonna get. That's what it said. And here were the options. It was just an article basically saying it could be a prequel, it could be a sequel, it could be a midquel, it could be a
what?
It could be a reboot. It was all the possibilities, and then them speculating on what it would be like.
What the hell's a midquel?
It would be taking place during the events of the original trilogy.
So, just simultaneously happening at the same time?
I guess, or in the interim between two movies.
That's an interesting idea, but what the hell? Can you name an example of one? Do any of these movies exist so far?
Oh, ooh, that's an interesting question. I don't think
Back
so.
to oh wait, I just answered my own question. Back to the Future Part Two.
That's true. Part of Back to the Future Part 2 is a midquel.
Yes.
But yeah, so I mean, I would say I don't. If it's a sequel, they're gonna have to explain why Neo and Trinity are alive, because they're like the only two major characters that died, but they're back for this movie. If it's a prequel, I don't know exactly what that would be. Just Keanu Reeves sitting in his office.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like, man, I want to know what the Matrix thing is.
And then, midquel, I don't know. I guess, like you said, that might be a cool idea. It might be something interesting. And a complete reboot, I don't think we're getting that.
Yeah, I don't want that. Well, I don't know. It's the first movie. I was thinking about this the other day because I read something about like one of the Wachowskis, Lena or Lily. I'm not sure which is which. Sorry. But one of them was directing. I don't know if the other one was involved still or not. But at least one obviously one of the original creator, writer, producer, director, singer, want to make my own videos persons
Right.
involved. I mean, I don't know why. Like you said, I mean, I watched all three movies. I didn't think the last two were good. I mean, there were good parts, like the chase scene, like there's like an action sequence, and obviously Monica Bellucci. In,
I was going to mention
Reloaded.
that. I was going to mention Monica Bellucci as one of the high parts.
I'd watch an ISIS video if she was in it. Not like getting her head chopped off,
No,
but
no.
just sultrily pouting in the corner.
Right.
ISIS. She's just so disappointed.
Come on, guys. It's ridiculous.
Oh man, they really missed the boat. They should have made a movie with like a Bond villain, and both Monica Bellucci and Tia Carrera were like henchmen. That'd be awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, something to think about later. Yeah, I don't understand the purpose of rebooting this. If that's what they're doing, this mid. They actually did quite a few. There's this thing called the Animatrix. There's a lot of like anime shorts, and I read about them. They sounded kind of cool. There's like a book actually, and I read one of the stories because it was by Neil Gaiman. That was the same sort of thing, and they do have quite the big like universe. I mean, they really could have like a midquel, as you call it. For one of the. I mean, it wouldn't be completely out of the question. But I just don't. I don't see purpose to redoing it. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I wouldn't want them to, even though I don't like the second and third movie that much, I wouldn't want them to reboot it. I wouldn't even really want them to do like a Halloween type situation where they make this a sequel that just ignores the second and the third movie. Some people might like that, but I don't know that I would like that.
I'm an idiot because I just realized that Breaking Bad's El Camino is a midquel.
That's true, it is.
Like the entire thing takes place within the previous work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand the purpose of this other than like Disney just as a pure cash grab.
Yeah. Is Disney the one that's doing this?
I don't know who Fox maybe or the Weinstein Company. I think was what.
I'm trying to remember who put this out. Who
I
put
thought
out
it was the Warner Brothers.
Yeah, I think
Warner
it's
Brothers?
I think it's Warner Brothers. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean it's dumb. I have no plans to see it, even if Keanu Reeves is in it.
I'll see it when it comes to streaming. I'm not going to the movie theater to watch this. It takes a lot to get me to the movie theater.
Yeah, I might, like you said, something streaming, but yeah, like you, I can't. There's no movies coming out that I'm aware of that I have any intention to see in the theater at this point.
No. I mean, I'm sorry, Steven Spielberg. I'm sorry, fucking Martin Scorsese. I don't. The theater experience is not. I don't care anymore. I can
Yeah,
I can
we're
get
not 100 years old.
Yeah, I can get a TV that covers my entire wall. I mean, it's the same fucking thing.
Yeah, I can pause it when I want to go to the restroom. If I didn't hear something, I can rewind it. If it's kind of loud in my house, I can turn on the subtitle.
Yeah, if I wanted to go somewhere and listen to people eat and fart, I would just have dinner with my family.
Right. I mean, it's such a weird experience. I mean, people always talk about like what a great experience the movies are. It's really not. Like, it's such an odd thing to do, like on a date. Like how like the typical first date's like, oh, let's go to the movies. Like, hey, let's go sit in the dark and stare at a screen and say nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just like such a weird thing to do. But I mean, I obviously I don't. I'd rather watch sports at home. I'd rather watch movies at home. I have no intention. I mean, music might be the only thing that brings me out of the house.
Yeah, that is the one thing that you can't really emulate the concert experience.
Yeah, I feel that you can't improve upon that experience. If you
Yeah.
go to like a baseball game, watching it on TV is better than actually being at the game. Not only for the creature comforts we already mentioned, but you get a better view. You get commentary by experts. You get you do get kind of like a communal feeling because everybody else is hearing the same two guys describe what's happening. You could talk about it later. Oh, when they had Rod and Mario locally, it was fun. Because Rod would always make wacky comments and stuff.
Yep, exactly.
Replay. Like I was at the game where Galarraga didn't get the perfect game.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, and they never played the replay of it, and I knew why because as I was leaving the stadium, my friend Matt texted me and said, "Yeah, he was out by a mile." And then when I actually saw the replay, the tension in the stadium, like at that time, I think a riot might have actually broken out if you played the replay. It was so like it's like disturbing the way it felt, like just like the tension in the air.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Galarraga. Poor Galarraga.
He's a World Series champ now.
That's true. All the former Tigers starting pitchers are World Series champs somewhere.
Well, that's good because I feel they all deserved it. I don't know how we didn't win, the World Series at least once with some of the lineups we had in the rotation.
God,
it was insane. Like the starting lineup, we just had like an insane lineup.
Ugh. Terrible.
Rotation. But yeah. So yeah, that's the news. I think maybe I don't know what's happening right now.
Yeah, that's all of it. So now we'll move on to Keeping Current with Mike, where we plumb the depths of celebrity culture. Mike, with all the fucking shit that's happened, do you still have the website for Keeping Current?
This is a new website to us. It's mtonews.com.
MTO. So what does that stand for? Mass Transit.
I think it's something media takeout. I think.
Okay.
And it claims to be the most visited African American network.
Okay.
And I like this website already because immediately I get some kind of vindication.
All right. What's that?
All right, much like Kevin Smith, we're weaving quite the massive late fee verse over here because obviously we reference our podcasts on other podcasts we do about our other podcasts.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's true.
Well, do you remember when I said the guy Roger was from the band B2K?
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait, no, that's like these like British guys.
Mm-hmm.
I was wrong. I think that group might actually be called BTK, which sounds insane.
Okay.
But they might be BTK, which is I gotta find a shirt now. But apparently B2K was like another like R&B type hip hop type group, and the subject of our first story is a former member.
All right.
B2K's J Boog accused of quote fucking Omarion mom at Love and Hip Hop reunion.
Holy shit.
So obviously this J Boog guy and Omarion, or at least Omarion's mom, are on this Love and Hip Hop show.
Wow. And he's messing around with the dude's mom.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Kind of like the LeBron James.
Oh, yeah. Jarrell DeMonte Houston Sr., known as J-Boog.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the guy who, LeBron James, who he accused of, like, it wasn't Kyrie Irving. It was some guy who went to the Celtics. I can't remember who they traded.
Yeah, no, I remember what you're talking about. But this is J-Boog.
Oh, yeah, J-Boog.
J-Boog's real name is Jarrell DeMonte Houston Sr.
Boog.
He is, let's see, he's a member of R&B group BTK. No, B2K.
Can you see if Omarion was also in B2K? Because I feel that he was.
All right, let's take a look at Omarion. Oh, here we go. Omarion. Let's see. Omari Ishmael Grandberry.
Call him Ishmael.
known by his stage name Omarion. Is, let's see, yes, he was the lead singer of boy band B2K.
Ooh. J-Bug can't be the star of the show, but he can be the star of his mother's night.
Oh, God. So they had singles like Bump, Bump, Bump.
yes, that's the song I know, and the only song I know by them.
And Girlfriend. Let's see, he's about a year younger than J-Bug. Let's see.
You should start calling J-Bug Dad for all I know.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of this is like, it's very coincidental. Lead single, I Get It In. His fourth studio album's called Sex Playlist. And then My Mom's Getting Fucked by My Friend.
Ah.
No, I'm just joking. Let's see. He appeared in commercials for Kellogg's Corn Pops and McDonald's.
That's fair. But yeah, they're both on the show. One guy is begging the other guy's mom now, from what I can tell. So it's probably true.
Yeah, good for him.
Our next story is Monica Arnold wears quote-unquote church outfit to the club with boyfriend rapper Trouble. Now, I don't know if Trouble is spelled Trouble and then 2 exclamation points, or if it's just Trouble and then they just put 2 exclamation points at the end because... And then the story after this, they also put 2 exclamation points where it's unnecessary.
Oh, okay. Well, 2 exclamation points is pretty much always unnecessary.
Yes. Well, I mean, like, if his name's Trouble, exclamation point, like, you know how, like, the band Panic at the Disco had that, like, weird, exclamation point in there?
Yeah.
Like, same deal. If not, it's a good idea. I'm gonna become the rapper Trouble, exclamation point.
So, Monica Denise Arnold, formerly Brown, she just recently had a birthday, so happy birthday. October 24th, 1980. Is an American
Do you know who she
singer. It's Monica, right?
From Brandy and Monica? I don't think so. Is it?
Well, let's see. It says she's had a number of R&B hits. Before You Walk Out of My Life, Don't Take It Personal, Like This and Like That, The Boy Is Mine, The First Night.
Oh, that's weird. Huh.
So it is Monica.
What is she, like, her fame dropped to a level where we just threw the last?
I guess so.
I mean, there's not another Monica. I mean, you could just there's not like, oh, Monica Shepherd. There's still the only Monica in, like, you know, R&B music. You don't have to, like, add her name on there. It makes no sense.
Yeah.
I mean, take the name off and throw some more exclamation points in there. You love those so much.
Right. But yeah, they mentioned Living Single, Felicity, and American Dreams. And the movie Boys and Girls.
Wow, those are a lot of bad shows.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of California Dreams, I think, is what I'm thinking of.
So what's her yeah, American Dreams is the one that was about the American Bandstand. What's her boyfriend's name that she's wearing a church outfit with?
Trouble. Trouble is his name.
Trouble.
I don't understand how that's a story if she just wears, like, a nice outfit to the club with her boyfriend.
Right. Yeah, who cares? Oh, wow.
Yeah,
the first picture of Trouble is smoke coming out of his nose, so he looks like Trouble.
I mean, come on, go back to calling her Monica. There's not another Monica out there. We're not going to confuse her with someone.
His birth name is Marielle Samante Orr.
Jeez.
Marielle.
That's I wonder if he's from a different country, like the Bahamas, maybe?
He was born in Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, I guess not.
Let's see. He is 32. He started rapping at the age of 14. I don't know. Nothing else. Nothing that I recognize.
Yeah, so I mean, it's a dumb story. This doesn't look good on you, MTO News. You're better than that.
Yeah.
They're not, though. Our next story is Kanye West leaks diss track, all exclamation points, against J. Cole, Drake, and Drake's son.
And Drake's son, that's awesome.
The funny part is, I think Drake's son is...
Oh my god. Trouble by J. Cole.
Just what the fuck?
What does he got to say about...
Did you say Trouble by J. Cole? Is Trouble involved in this too?
No, Trouble's the name of a song by J. Cole.
Is it about the rapper Trouble?
It might be.
Yeah, that's weird. But yeah, I haven't heard this leaked track. I'm not a huge Kanye West fan. I don't really see what the big deal is about him for the most part. I mean, he's got some good music, but a lot of it's just like too indulgent, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, oh my god, I have to listen to this. Just, I don't know why this person on some level, but when someone like swears at a child, it's the funniest thing ever to me.
Yeah, what's he gonna like? I looked up Drake's son, Adonis Graham, and it's just a picture of an infant in a stroller.
Yeah, because I think it was like secretly revealed, like in another rapper about Drake, that he had like a secret son, and then he like finally came out and said, "Yeah, I have a child that like nobody knew about until then," because it was like, I don't know, a groupie or something.
Yeah, it's like this kid is 2 years old. What is this diss track gonna be?
Oh my god, I'm gonna click on this and see if they give me some lyrics.
Oh my god. Drake.
Like, I can't remember what it is. Like this, I think it's a Vine. I've been like super into Vines lately, but this one I saw a long time ago, where like some guy's like yelling at a woman, and then he yells at her dog, and the yelling at the dog part is the funniest thing in the whole world. Because how could the dog understand what the fuck is?
Yeah, that cracks me up. To like, when I was growing up, we had a cat. And I said something to the cat one time that I thought was funny, and I started laughing, and the cat's just staring at me, like, with that look that the cats get on their face, like, what the fuck's wrong with you? And it just made me laugh so much harder.
Yeah, well, the lyric, it's really not too bad, but I guess the lyric is, my whole city turned their back on me. They thought I told Pusha about Drake's son. I guess it's Pusha T who leaked the information then, is my guess.
Okay.
And then the next line is, God damn, I don't care about his son.
This article says, so far neither Drake nor his son has responded.
Oh, come on. Oh no, we have to make a track about how Drake's son is a coward for not responding.
Oh man.
So you look for that, the massive late fee track, Drake's son is a coward.
Yeah. We'll release that on vinyl specifically for this.
Coconut Banger's Ball. It's a rap.
That's right. Ooh, inside, I know.
But yeah, that's all I have for this segment. I don't know. This site's okay, but I feel that it's kind of needs to lean in more one direction. It's kind of like in the middle. Like, it's kind of sassy, like gossip, but it's not like really like informative news. Like, they have that story about what's her name, Monica.
Yeah.
But it's like the dumbest story. It's like, who the fuck cares? I mean, this is not a story. I mean, Monica, this is your front page of your website.
Right.
I mean, no offense to Monica. Obviously, I have respect for her. I think she should just be called Monica and not whatever her last name is. But you're not exactly front page news with your inappropriate outfit to a club.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm going to talk to you guys about your gambling problem. No, we have.
Is that like the pot calling the kettle black there, Mark?
Yeah, exactly. I am frequently gambling online because, it's fun. It's a fun thing to do, and I win money sometimes. And if you want to win money sometimes, and other times lose money because that's how it works, you should go to MyBookie. So, Mike, are you familiar with MyBookie's fantastic interface? They've got the best lines. You could go to Vegas, you could go to Atlantic City, you could go see what was that? What was those shows in Atlantic City that I'm trying to remember what.
Oh, I cannot remember what they were, but they were very sad.
Oh yeah, there was. Oh, the one was. I remember it was like dead singer. They were all dead singers, and they were.
Yep, that's right. It was like an impersonator show.
Yeah. So you could go to Atlantic City, see that show, but you're not gonna find the lines that you're gonna get here. You won't find lines this good outside of the 1980s.
And I mean, come on, think about it. Do you really want to, go take a shower, get dressed, get in your car, go fill it up with gas, drive tens of miles to a casino, get parking, walk from the parking lot to the casino, and only then, you have to hit an ATM and maybe like, oh, there's a $5 charge for this, Once you're there, they're just like sucking money away from you, the second you walk in the door.
Absolutely.
Or from the privacy of your own home. I mean, you can just go to mybookie.com.
Why see another person in the world? When you
What the fuck is going on over there?
Why we've got musical accompaniments for this. Why see another person when you could just go to mybookie.ag and place your bet? And let me tell you. So, Mike, if you want to win a lot of money,
I do.
but you don't want to spend a lot of money,
I don't.
what you should do is you should do a parlay. These are things I like to do. One of our friends that lives in Las Vegas, Ben and I, we used to do this all the time. You pick like 4 games, 5 games, and you put them all together. And if all these things happen, if all these teams win, then you spend a little bit of money and you make a lot of money. I mean, Norm Macdonald does it all the time. And
he's on.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if I would put that in the ad.
He's one of the most successful comedians out there, and Norm's got his own promo code. We've got our own promo code.
Penn Jillette has a promo code.
I'm sure he does for something.
No, for my bookie, I heard on his podcast earlier.
Awesome. So we're in good company here. So now here's the thing: if you join my bookie right now.
Right now?
Yes, do it on your computer right now. Use the promo code. Use the promo code late fees. That's LATEFEES, all caps. MyBookie will double your first deposit. So up to $1,000. So if you deposit $1,000 because you have a severe gambling problem, they will give you another $1,000 to double that severe gambling problem. $1,000 is a lot. That's more than I'd bet. But you.
I mean, who wouldn't take a free $1,000? You're an idiot if you don't take this offer.
I agree, absolutely. So go to mybookie.ag, enter promo code LATEFEES, LATEFEES, and you will activate that offer.
I think you just got more aggressive with each letter.
So, MyBookie, you play, you win, and you get paid. Do it now. So we will move on to the IMDb game, which pits Mike and I against each other. We go to the Parents Guide, and we read off things from the IMDb Parents Guide, and we try to guess the fucking know how this is played, right? Are you listening to this?
It's not hard to figure it out.
Yeah, even if this is your first time, you'll be okay. We'll be gentle.
I hear that Drake's son has something in common with Marcellus Wallace.
Oh yeah.
They both have a similar look to them.
Is that true?
Yes.
Oh my god.
They both look like a with a movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I know. Marcellus Wallace.
Do you go first? Do I go first?
I'll go first. I don't care. Let's see. So, here we go. Gotta play the music. So, Mike, under sex and nudity. What I think is funny is it gives time codes here. So it says 0855 to 0903. My uncle is a pimp. Jerry Springer episode is briefly seen on TV.
Huh, that already sounds familiar. I think it's something I watched recently. Is it Borat?
Nope. Let's see. A man finds a drunk woman passed out in bed. It is implied he raped / sexually assaulted her.
Shit, I don't know. I'm Coming to America.
No. Let's go with profanity. So it gives the actor's name. I'm not going to do that. But one of the actors uses the word goddamn one time in a scene. I'm not going to describe the scene. What the fuck? Why would you do this to me, profanity? Shit is used once. Ass, damn, and hell are used a few times. Whore is used once in a background song. JC... JC...
Is this, Departed?
No. There's something fun about this. I mean, the movie's not fun, but there's something fun about this. Let's see. Okay, so from a store owner tells a man to stop jerking off to Japanese comics. This will fly over most children's heads.
Huh. Orgasmo.
No. Let's see. One scene with dead bodies and hostages scene and a realistic kill. What?
Is this Glass?
No.
Split?
No.
Okay.
A boy points a gun at his father and threatens to shoot him as he thinks his dad can't die.
Oh, I thought we did this before. Unbreakable.
We did. You gave it to me.
Oh, did I?
Yeah. That's what was fun about it. Is that
Jeez.
You read it to me, which I didn't realize at the beginning until I started reading it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, Mike gave this one to me at one point."
Yeah, speaking of which, I may have already done this one to you, but I don't think so.
Okay.
A man punches another man in the gut.
Don't tell Mom the babysitter's dead.
No.
Okay.
A man is punched in the face, then grabbed and pulled by his scrotum. This is played for laughs.
Wow, punched in the face, then grabbed and pulled by his scrotum? Jingle All the Way.
No.
Alright.
I have seen this movie, but I'm getting this next clue that I see. We have a big clue, so I'll go back to that one. It's
Okay.
a profanity one.
Oh, okay. Yeah, the whole profanity one with Unbreakable was like Bruce Willis says "goddamn" in the scene where his the guy he's giving therapy to points a gun at him. Like it's all what the fuck? Like why would you explain everything in profanity?
What if I just like go by and like subtly edit all the the ones that I think are likely that you'll pick for me?
Just to give
Like-
you better clues.
Yeah, you'll be like, oh, that's weird. There's a ripe banana. And you're really kind of like rifling through like some index cards. Ripe banana. That's the color, the money, right? How did you know? And you just never know that scene existed.
Yeah. It's been a long time since I've seen The Color of Money.
So I've never seen it. So we get some scrote grabbing, a gut punch. In a taxi, we see a picture of nude women stuck on the passenger's window.
That sounds familiar. The Faculty?
No.
Alright.
Let's see. One of the characters smokes cigars in several scenes, and two men drink most of the hard liquor shots from a hotel minibar.
Go?
No. That is a good movie, though.
Yeah, I like that movie.
The car crash scene may be a bit frightening.
I think you have read this one to me before, because all this sounds very familiar. The car crash scene. Oh, wait, it's not Get Out, is it?
No.
No, it wouldn't be.
Do you want me to do another clue, or were you...
Crash?
No, I think this next one would probably give it away, so you should know by this one. If not, then I'll just have to tell you what it is.
Okay.
18 F words, all said within the space of a minute.
18 F words? All said within the space of a minute.
I assume this is like a famous scene from this movie.
18 F words all said within the space of a minute. Huh. Well, I mean, it's if that's the total F words in the movie, then it's not Scarface. Let's see.
No, it's a comedy.
Hmm.
One of the stars is American, the other star is Canadian.
One of the stars is American, the other is Canadian.
Yes.
Oh, is it Trading Places? Or no, not Trading Places. Planes, Trains, and Automobiles.
Yes.
Oh, nice. No, that's a good one. Yeah. Okay. So cigar. You haven't done that one before. Cigar.
Okay, I
Car
wasn't
crash. Sure. Yeah, I got it. I like.
I've never seen it. I just assumed the F word thing was like a big deal because they mentioned it like 3 times in the profanity thing.
Yeah. I remember the scene, but it's Steve Martin, going insane. But yeah, that's a really good movie. I like that movie a lot. Kevin Bacon's in that movie.
Is it like a Thanksgiving movie?
Yes, it is. He's trying to get home for Thanksgiving.
There's very few like Thanksgiving theme movies. Like I mean, even like as like a back part. Like I mean, I think of that, and there's an episode of Always Sunny in Philadelphia called "The Gang Squashes Their Beefs."
Okay.
Which is a Thanksgiving dinner, which is a hilarious episode too. But yeah, that's the only ones I can think of that are really specifically Thanksgiving, other than Eli Roth's fake trailer from Grindhouse.
I think there's one like The Family Stone or Home for the Holidays or something like that that looks like it would be a Christmas movie, but it's actually a Thanksgiving movie. They're all coming for Thanksgiving.
Oh, that makes sense.
Like there's one like that, but yeah, Thanksgiving gets overlooked a lot.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, it just blends from Halloween into Christmas.
There's no place like Home for the Holidays. That Perry Como song is a Thanksgiving song that Christmas just stole.
Yeah.
But he wrote that for Thanksgiving, or no, well, he didn't write it, but the writer wrote it for Thanksgiving.
Right.
Anyway, so on to our main topic today. Now, you've said that you hate what you watched, so
I don't hate it, but I dislike it.
We might get a good rant, so I'll go first because I want to save yours. I watched one thing I wanted to watch, but I haven't been able to watch yet. Is the Dolomite movie. Dolomite is my name. With Eddie Murphy.
Oh, good. You haven't seen because I wanted to watch that as well. Like we could do that like next week if you want.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we can do that. So anyone that wants to follow along out there, go to Netflix and watch the Dolomite is my name movie, and we'll be doing that next week.
Because I was listening to the Gilbert Gottfried podcast, and he had the people who wrote it on there. They've been on the show before. They're like friends or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Said that the reason they got Eddie Murphy came to this. He really liked Ed Wood, so I'm assuming it's like the same thing, like an Ed Wood, but with Rudy Ray Moore instead. So that really intrigued me now.
Yeah,
they're the guys who did Ed Wood. I didn't realize that.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, they wrote it. They didn't direct it because it's Tim Burton, obviously.
They didn't have sex with his corpse. They didn't do Ed Wood.
No.
But yeah, so I watched a show called Atypical. That my wife was watching also on Netflix, which is basically it's about this autistic kid. As they say, he's on the spectrum, but he's not close to being not autistic. He's pretty far along on the spectrum. He's 18. He's a senior in high school. He can somewhat.
Wait. Is that how the spectrum works? Like the further along you are, the more like autistic you are. Because I assumed it was like an up and down kind of thing. So like the higher you were, like the more autistic you were, whereas like the lower would be like the least.
I mean, I guess I always pictured the spectrum as like a side to side thing.
Huh? I think I would like to see a picture of the spectrum to see if I could really wrap my head around it now.
But anyway,
I mean, you can't really say he's like big time. I mean, you're at in this context.
Yeah, he's not. I'm not going to use the word, but isn't
it? Well, no, I think it's like mild, moderate, severe, and profound. I think at least like for like some kind of things, that's the scale.
Right.
I don't know if that is how it works with like autism or whatever. I really don't know much about it, but I'll sit back and you can educate me on the whole issue.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it either. I wish we had Carol on because she would be able to educate us on how it works. But I will say that he's
Can you have her do a brief summary and then tack it on the end?
yeah. I'll just edit it in right here. If you're not hearing it, it's because I was too lazy to edit it in right here.
Oh, thanks.
Or
now we know.
or she refused. One of the two.
Yeah, maybe she doesn't care.
But basically, it's pretty much implied that maybe he'll be able to take care of himself eventually. Like he can feed himself and stuff, and like he has a job. He works at an appliance place that like they sell computers and shit. It's like a
Oh, I thought he was a audience member at Sister.
no. Who's immature? But he so he works at a like it's like Best Buy is what it seems like. And he works there and he understands the computers. He's obsessed with penguins and like Antarctica. Biology's his favorite subject. So it's one of those things where it's kind of like Rain Man, I guess, but instead of, really like being obsessed with numbers and stuff like that, he's obsessed with penguins. He knows like everything about penguins. But as I think
Not to be a dick, but I really hate penguins.
Do you?
Like, there's nothing. They're just the dumbest birds. They don't fly. They just walk around all stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they all look basically the same. I mean, there's different species, but I mean, they're basically black and like orange and yellow sprinkled.
Yeah.
They only live because they're in Antarctica. If they were anywhere else, it would have been decimated years ago.
Oh, I absolutely agree.
I hate that at the Detroit Zoo they have this penguinarium, and it's like they spent like $20-something million to build this penguin house.
Yes.
And it's like, just like a few years ago, they like were basically pleading with like the population of the 3 local counties. Like they're like, oh, we need money because the zoos, we're going to go bankrupt, we're out of money, and everybody who like did this bond, there's like you get a discounted membership if you're from one of the 3 counties now.
Mm-hmm.
Now that they have all this money, they're building a fucking $20 million penguin house for these stupid birds.
Yeah. No, I know it's terrible.
Penguins.
But yeah, so he's like we get a lot of penguin facts, especially about the chin strap penguin because that's apparently his favorite. He really wants to get laid. He's 18 and he goes to a therapist and he's talking to his therapist who's this pretty Asian girl, and he says that he'd like to have a girlfriend but he can't have a girlfriend because he's on the spectrum. And she basically says to him, hey, people on the spectrum date. You can date. There are strategies to use. And his mom is pissed because his mom does not want him dating because she doesn't want him to get his heart broken. But he really wants to. He says to his family, he's like, yeah, my therapist told me that I can have sex. And she goes, well, she didn't say that. She said dating. I just added the sex part. But it's really clear that he's he wants to get some. So it's kind of like a cross between the 40-year-old virgin and an autistic guy. I guess life goes on. I don't know.
Can you imagine like the person coming up with that pitch, like they're like really desperate, like they ran through a bunch of ideas, like what about it's like a cross between a 40-year-old virgin and autism? So
but it's actually pretty good. So, you'll know this guy too. Michael Rappaport's in it. He plays his dad.
I'm not a fan of him.
Really? I figured you'd like him.
No, he was on Justified. He was terrible on Justified. Like he's just like he really annoys me.
He's not a good actor.
No, he's not.
I don't know how, and he's not a good actor on this either. I don't know how he gets roles in things, but he's just like, look, son, you don't. It's like he's every. Maybe this is where they get the term phoning it in from, but every scene that he's in, he sounds like he's talking on the phone. Like he sounds like he's reading a Chinese takeout menu into the phone, where he's just like, well, look, son, beef with broccoli. And, it's like, because there's no normal human emotion in any of his scenes.
Which is funny because, like, I've listened to him on a podcast before. He's on this one called The Fighter and the Kid. He's like so like boisterous and like aggressively loud. Like that's like how he actually is, but he's just like so like toned down and like when he acts.
He's like, well, acting means just being the opposite of yourself, right? So I won't be a loud dick.
Is there a space between those two words?
Uh, yes, I guess so.
I said a loud dick.
But yeah, so I mean that's Atypical. I liked it. I watched the first couple episodes so far. I haven't gotten super into it. Also,
How many episodes are there?
I think there are 8.
Huh, that's a good number.
Yeah. One thing that I saw that came out that I'm upset that came out is one of the first things that well, not first things I watched on Netflix, but I think it was one of the first things when I was writing for Michigan Sports and Entertainment. This was one of the first things I wrote about. A series called The End of the Fucking World, which is based on a graphic novel, and the entirety of the graphic novel was covered in the first season. They released a second season. My wife told me that, and I was like, "Oh, that sucks." And she's like, "I know, it's terrible." I was like, "Oh," because the way it ended, it ended ambiguously, like the graphic novel does, as to whether or not this kid lives or dies. And I was happy with it. We watched that season, and I was like, "Good. This is fine." It lived up to the creator's vision. It was an entertaining show for like the 7 episodes or 6 episodes or whatever it was that were there. I don't need any more, but now they have a second season.
Dumb.
Yeah, not happy. So, what did you watch?
Years ago, like probably like 5 or so years ago, I came across these series of novels called I think it's called the His Dark Materials trilogy.
Okay.
It's by author Philip Pullman. He's from the UK. It's like the atheist rebuttal to C.S. Lewis's The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe.
Okay.
It's really interesting, and like as like like a non-believer, it does have a lot of. It's actually got a lot of really like beautiful like parts of the book. Like it takes place like in an alternate past. It seems to be about 1800s technology. In the book, at least, they have but they don't have like these dirigibles. And by the way, I love that word. The fact that I get to say that word makes me like this show a little more than I should. That's just a great word you never get to.
Right.
Yeah, it's got these in the show. They have these dirigibles. They're these big like metal things, but it seems like a little out of sync with the book's kind of time period. But the book, anyways, is set in like an alternate history. There's this everybody's like soul kind of manifests outside of their body, and they call it a daemon, Daemon. Mm-hmm. Children's up to a certain age are always changing. They're they kind of like mold as the children do. Like if they're more skittish, it'll be like more like a mouse type animal, that sort of thing. It'll be a reflection of your personality.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought that was cool. Like something about that I always liked, like spirit animals like that's just fun. Like the idea that like there's like an animal that you're very much like. It just seems kind of
right.
Although I read these like as a full-grown adult, and I I actually felt embarrassed like going into like I'm like, hey, can you show me where the children's section is? Like I think it was like juvenile or something, but it still just seemed so creepy, like being like an adult man. I'm like, I made sure my children were like right next to me as I said this and went to get the book.
Right.
But yeah, it's I mean it's a really interesting series. So it's this girl Lyra. She kind of like runs amok in this college. I think it's called Jordan. Mm-hmm. And then she runs amok, and like she finds out that her uncle is coming to town. Her uncle, well-regarded explorer. Mm-hmm. His daemon is like this snow leopard, and also the daemons are almost always the opposite gender. But like they mention some people have like the same, and they never really comment on that. So it's kind of like an interesting thing. I wonder if they'll explore more in the series. But so yeah, it's like it's like this quest to find because they find like this hole in the world that connects to the other world, and Azrael's trying. It's a really epic journey. This entire first book is like a crazy like long epic tale. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if the first season is going to cover just the first book, because there's 3 books. But I mean, if it is, I don't know how they're going to do it in such a short period of time, because
right.
I mean So okay, so there's all this epic. It's what I disliked about this. I don't know why they wouldn't open with the same scene they opened in the. In the book, the girl Lyra is on her uncle, or like this meeting where her uncle's going to appear to. But in the show, I mean, I understand why they do it, because like the one really amazing thing about this show is the setting. Like this, I don't know if they use CGI and like practical stuff or like a combination of the two, but it looks like like a few centuries ago, like college. I mean, every like detail is like perfect. There's winding stairways, and as mentioned, you see the dirigibles, gleaming in the background. I mean, the set it's a beautiful. I'm sure the person's going to be, nominated and hopefully possibly win some award for this.
Right.
But just like I felt like the casting of Azrael, like he's in the book, he's like this larger than life figure, both physically and like personality wise. But I mean, James McAvoy, I mean, he's a good actor, but he's not like this big like brooding kind of guy. I think there was a movie already made from this, which was really bad. Like it really didn't even like touch upon the themes of the book at all, because they were afraid of like offending the Christian market, which would deeply cut into their sales, since it's a children's movie. If it was protested, like, I mean, I'm sure they damaged the sales of like Harry Potter to like some people who were kind of like on the margins of like being Christian, or being like a free thinker, or agnostic, whatever.
Right.
Oh yeah, they definitely. It's not an in-your-face atheist like book, but it's definitely there's no doubt there's no God in the book. It's I mean, quite frankly, I think the book, God being killed by one of the characters.
Oh yeah.
And they even like describe him as like this old demented person who like completely forgot like everything, and he was just driven mad. So it's kind of weird, because I guess in that sense it kind of affirms belief, but I mean it's obviously a commentary on like his lack of belief. But yeah, it's like this really like epic novel. But yeah, the casting, I'm not a big fan of Azrael, who is one of the main characters. The girl who plays Lyra is like a perfect casting. I mean, she's a good actress. She looks just like this kind of scrappy like tomboy. In the book, I forget who's like the counterpart to Lord Asriel. She's very well cast as well. I was actually pretty happy to, much surprised, the headmaster of the school was played by Clark Peters. He was Lester Freeman in The Wire, my favorite character.
Okay.
He's a very good actor, and he was like a nice, like, oh yeah, that's awesome. But then I kind of remembered, like, almost as quickly that the headmaster is only in there like in the very beginning. He's not in the books very much, so unfortunately, I don't think we'll get to see much of Clark Peters, which is a shame.
Yeah.
I mean, they might do what they do, like what they did in the series, what's it, Altered Carbon. They changed it quite a bit. Oh, no, not they changed it quite a bit, so you kind of hang out with these characters, which I'm not a fan of. Like, I don't like when they're like, oh, I like this actor, or this is a fun concept, let's change it so much that this person... But that's kind of what they did with, maybe... I hope they don't do that with Clark Peters, but I wouldn't be super upset, because, like I said, I really like him. He's one of my favorite actors.
He was in 3 Billboards.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've only really seen him in The Wire. I mean, I've seen him, like, pop up in other things. He's, like, kind of like one of those guys who's been around for a while, but, most people haven't seen The Wire and, like, realize he's, like, this amazing actor.
Yeah, I like him a lot, too. He was in K-Pax, too.
Oh, I don't remember that movie well at all. I mean, I heard it was bad, and I watched it, and it, like often is the case, bad as I had heard it was.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't a terrible movie, but I mean, it's not a great movie.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst piece of shit I've ever seen, but it was not great. And it starred...
Believe it or not, it's not the worst thing Kevin Spacey's done.
No, not at all. Oh, yeah, I think actually he molested those kids, so that the worst thing that he ever did wasn't that one where he was the voice of... What was that movie where he was the voice of like a cat or something like that? Bent on taking over the world.
I think it's Cats and Dogs or something like that.
Yeah. Oh, Kevin Spacey. Remember, did you ever see that creepy like fucking video that he made in his house where he was like chopping up stuff to like vegetables or something like that, like cooking, and he was doing it in character as his character from House of Cards? And he was like, "Oh, you miss me, you want me back and stuff." No. It was so weird.
I heard about it, but I didn't see it. I heard House of Cards is really good, but I haven't seen it. I don't know. Did they take it off of Netflix, or is it still on?
No, it's still on Netflix. It's fine. I wouldn't call it great. It's The first season is pretty decent, but it gets a little ridiculous.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Like, it kind of like quickly goes off the rails.
Or it's just like he's murdering people all over the place, and it's like, oh, I'm just gonna get away with this.
Right. Like it's I don't know. It's like one of those weird situations where it's hard. I mean, it's actually not too hard to separate the artist from the its work in this one.
Yeah.
Because he's mostly known for playing like evil characters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Which is kind of a weird thing because usually it seems like the people who play the villains more often than not are like really like overly nice in real life.
Yeah.
Like William Zabka.
Oh yeah, badass Billy Zabka.
I mean, the show, I'm kind of already like the acting in some spots. Like the girl looks just like Lara, but she's not an amazing actress in some parts. I mean, maybe that's just me, being overly critical, but it's not. I'm not impressed by the show so far. I might give it a couple more episodes. I'm gonna let my 11-year-old watch it because I think she would. I always wanted her to read the books, so maybe she'll like the show. I mean, it's not for me so far. I mean, it might get better, but I just have a feeling it's just going to be completely disappointing, like the first episode is for the rest of the run. So, like I said, I'll give it another episode, maybe two, but so far it's not starting off on me.
Well, that's too bad to hear. I've heard good things about the series of books. I haven't read it, but I've heard good things about the series.
Especially the first book is really good.
Well, I will definitely check. I will check that out. I might watch the first episode. Actually, what I'll do is I'll read the book first, though.
Yeah, the book, like you said, the book's really good. I mean, it's a very cinematic book. I can see why they've adapted it, twice now. But I mean, so far, neither are on par with the book at all.
It seems like the epic fantasy books would be difficult to translate into like the visual medium to me, whether it's especially a movie, but TV show I could see a little bit more.
Yeah, I do have to say, so far I really like the effects they're using for the daemons. They look really realistic. I mean, there's a monkey that maybe not so great in the eyes, but the rest of them look very realistic, and they're kind of like creepy, like when they talk, because they have like, I always forget they can speak, and you just hear their voice. It's like, it just kind of disturbs me.
Now, what would Matt Damon's Damon be?
I don't know.
Damon's Damon.
What do you think your Damon would be?
I think my Damon would be a Wolverine.
That'd be pretty sweet.
Or a sloth.
Yeah, that would definitely be my youngest's. That's her spirit animal for sure. She's very slothy. I wish mine would be something like. I think it'd be like I'd like it if it'd be like a raven because that's like my favorite bird. And I'm really into birds.
Okay.
Predatory, like hawk or a falcon.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. Or like a spider would be neat.
Ugh, spiders are so creepy. I hate them.
Or like a snake would be kind of cool.
It'd be all right.
Maybe like a rat. That'd be kind of neat.
I wonder what my youngest Damon would be. She is all over the place, so I don't know. She'd probably want it to be a unicorn, but they don't exist. Although I guess it is a fantasy series, but
right. Yeah, this also made me wonder quite a bit about the logistics of like because all these people showed up at a dinner, but the Davids, at least in the books, have to stay within like 10 feet of you, basically. So it's like, do they all like have an extra place next to them for the Davids? what happens there?
They're all sitting in the kitchen, just talking amongst themselves.
Yeah, I mean, they clearly couldn't fit there, which is weird. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe that's why like the ones of the children like always change because maybe your youngest will eventually like be more into something or have more of a personality trait that's like a so and so.
Right. Yeah. That's makes sense.
It'd be neat to have a raven on your David. So work on that science.
Yeah. Let's do it.
So we'll watch the Dolomite thing for next week.
Yeah. Yeah, so tune in for that, and that's our episode for the week, so do all that stuff. I don't feel like begging today. Just tell some friends, and then whatever you want to do, I don't care. There are links to stuff you want to do if you would like. Look in the links, the description of this episode, and you'll see where our Patreon is and all that shit. And just click on some of that stuff. Oh, real quick before we go, Mike. I actually, someone has written us a letter. I almost forgot.
Like in the mail?
No, an email. So, yeah, I guess it's just not a letter, but an email. No, they don't know our address. That's never going to change. But someone's asked you specifically a question. Hold on one second. Hello, Mark and Mike. Blah, blah, blah. No, here's the question. Okay, Mike, you seem to dislike so many things. What's your favorite movie, and is there any genre of film that you like more than others? He didn't really want to ask me any questions. He was like, "Fuck you." He wanted to talk to you.
Sorry.
So, what do you think? Favorite movie, and is there a genre you like more than others?
My favorite movie?
Yeah.
Huh, that kind of changes. I used to say it was Unforgiven because I really like that movie. It's like it's like a perfect Western movie. It's like very bleak. It's realistic in some spots. It's got a lot of really good performances. Gene Hackman's great in it. Richard Thomas, maybe I don't remember the guys. I mean, if you saw him, you would know who it was. He's an English guy. I think he was in Harry Potter. So that English guy that narrows it down.
Oh, okay. Yeah. The one English guy that was in Harry Potter. Okay.
Right, but I really like that movie. There's a lot of really kind of bad, I guess. See, I like movies that are I like action movies that are just very very much about themselves. They're not trying to be anything but a really good action movie. Like The Running Man, I really love that movie. It's ridiculous, it's dumb, but it's just fun. It's clearly just making strange scenarios. Just that would be great action sequences. There's no reason for half the movie.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you've read. I mean, the short story it's based on, I think, would be actually a much cooler movie, or even a mini-series.
Yeah, I agree.
Anything, Richard Bachman's Running Man would be really cool, especially you could. I mean, do a lot of comments on cyber technology.
Yeah, I think it would be perfect as a 5 or 6 episode single season show.
It'd be sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as genre, mostly what I really watch are comedies over and over. I like some dramas. It's really certain movies. I've watched The Departed so many times recently. I'm so happy that it's on Netflix. I'll just watch it. When I'm thinking of what else I want to watch, I'll watch it. I really just love that movie. And I'm really looking forward to The Irishman. I think even though it's going to be 3.5 hours long, I'm still going to watch it, which I didn't do for The Hard Eight. Is what it's called? The Hard Eight with the... Yeah, I mean, I'm a really big fan, but I have no 3-hour cowboy movie with Tarantino, but a 3.5-hour gangster movie from Martin Scorsese, yes, I will watch that every time.
Yeah, well, especially, it's like you said, we can pause it because it's on Netflix, so...
Yeah.
If I want to watch half now and half later, I can do that.
Yeah, I like a lot of crime movies, too, so, yeah, that's basically what it is.
All right, well... Write to us if you want to, and, tell some friends about us, but we will see you next week. Bye.
See you next time.